Welcome back to the Forge for another Rusty production. Today we're going to be making a hot cut tool for an old chisel. So on our continued journey to make tools for the new hardy hole, you would have seen in previous videos that I made the hold fast tool or the hold down tool to hold metal onto the face of the anvil. I've got my spring fuller which goes into the hardy hole for crushing metal like so. And today we're going to be making a hot cut tool from an old chisel. The reason I'm using an old chisel is because I know this is tool steel, and it's going to be the sort of thing that hopefully will stand up a bit over the test of time once I start using it to cut that metal on the hardy hole. So why am I using this one rather than just using a piece of metal? Well, this is something I've got lying around, and really I can't use it with my hand like this. It gets too hot. I know I could wrap some metal around that and create a little handle for it, but I've already got this longer version, which is actually a little bit more useful for doing my hot cuts via the chisel. So what I'm going to be doing with this is actually upsetting the metal so I can bring it down a little, make it fatter, make my entry into the hardy hole so that we can actually sit inside there, spread it out like a bit of a fan, and actually create a nice cutting area that I can use to cut metal for the future. So I've got to heat this right up, so I'll get started with that on the forge, and I'll be right back. Going to upset the metal a little bit. Going to cool down the bottom part of this. Thought I'd just quickly show you this while the metal's heating up. But I had a couple of decent mishits onto where the hardy hole is, and it didn't make one bit of difference to any of these seams. No cracking, nothing like that. So it's taking a decent beating, and it's it's quite warm actually now. So that is ideally on there. If there were any doubt, I've beaten the crap out of it today. So very happy with the result. I'm going to try something a little bit different. Put these two plates on top of the anvil. I need a way to upset it to the right depth. And I've got this plate here that's got a hole that's just the right width. If I put that over here, like so, then that should actually be about the right depth for where I want to upset the tool. So I'm going to try this. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but I'm going to give it a go. I'll heat it back up and just do that one more time, but that actually did spread it. Spread a bit more now. Get it hot again. You can see there we've actually got quite a bit of distance on it now. Width. I'm going to create a bit of a seam where the bottom of the tool goes into the hardy hole, and I'm going to use my spring fuller to actually do that. So I'm heating it up again. I'm just going to create a bit of a mark so that I can create some definition between where the tool goes into the hole and where it's going to fan out from. Just going to allow me to, I think it's going to give me a little bit of a better indication on where I'm working on the piece of material. So I'll do that, and you'll see it in a sec. Great, you can see I've got the marks there. It's still hot, but I'm going to heat it up a bit more so I can spread this just a little bit further. Getting along. Now I'm just going to have to round out that edge there, taper it off a little bit more, and fix up the bottom, and then I'll grind it to a finish. And what's interesting about this is, even though this is hard, this is hot steel, because it's hard tool steel, it's actually cutting into this. So I'm actually getting a little bit of movement right around there. So I just have to clean up along these edges, maybe round it out a little bit. Okay, so here's the basic shape. I think you can see that there. I'm just going to put it on the grinder and just clean up some of these edges around here before I give it its final heat treat. I think we'll be just about there. I mean, it is what it is. It's there for cutting. It's going to have a little bit of a curve to the top here as I sharpen that edge as well. And so on the grinder, and we'll get it to where we want it to be. Okay, so I put a rough grind into it. It's obviously not sharp yet, but it's in the right sort of shape, and I'm happy with everything so that I can give it a final heat treat. And then we'll just go across the edge here and just give it a nice sharp edge, and we'll be ready to use. So I'll heat back up the forge, heat treat that, and we'll be ready to go. Alright, magnet on the side of here. We are not magnetic anymore. Into the quench. Alright, so there we are. I'll just give it a final sharpen on the edge here, and I might even take it back into the oven inside and give it a bit of a heat treat. But in essence, that's our hardy tool. That's what we're working with. Again, not pretty, but I believe it'll work. Alright, so that edge is about all we need for the hot cut. So yeah, I'll go and temper it up and we'll be ready to roll. It works. Okay. So as always, I'm a little bit impatient. I just use that as a cold cutting chisel. That's not what it's for. It's for the hot cuts, and I've really got to temper that before it's ready to use. But it worked really well. You saw just then, cut through that 6mm stock, no problem whatsoever, and left no dents at all. So it's nice and hardened the way I want, but I'll temper that upstairs later. It's getting pretty late, so I'll end the video here. If you like what you saw, give us a like. If you've got any comments, please give me a comment. And if you are looking to see more of these videos, these tool making videos, these beginner blacksmith type videos, then do subscribe and hit that notification so you get notified when we release a video, which is every single week. Till next time, thanks so much for watching.